evaluators in the same order. General evaluator, Kurth. I don't care. Jose, do you care?
No, I don't. They're both good evaluators.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, I just shared them, so put David with Pam and Randolph with Jose.
Okay. And I could not get the evaluation to pull up on Toastmasters International, where you save your stuff and then you send them an evaluation, because the evaluation is my response, not the speech. And I just couldn't figure out, it just, usually you can just hit it and it would, but it was being recalcitrant this morning, so.
Oh,
Yeah,
that's
there's
a good
word
one.
of the day. There's a $5 word right there.
Yeah, really. Pay up. See, let's see.
Wanda, how do you say your last name? Kalaman?
That is correct.
Okay. Well, welcome. Are you a Toastmaster, or is this your first time, or what? Where are we in the process?
He's our area director.
Area director.
Oh, exciting! See?
Yeah.
You're not reading the emails, Pam.
I'm telling you, nothing sticks anymore. Nothing sticks. But I did do all the paperwork so that our the director can be our proxy. So that's good. That much I was able to.
Oh, you did that.
I'm
okay,
so
great.
sorry. I apologize.
That's quite all right.
Hey, you should have stars around your name for doing that job. You can't just have a plain old
Yeah,
name.
I don't know. Y'all can give me stars.
Wanda, she's trying to recruit you right off the bat.
I know, I see.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm here for each and every last one of you.
Well, thank you. Thank you for doing that job. Thank you so much.
I'm gonna need your help for sure.
Morning, Kim.
Yay.
Good morning, Kim.
Hello. Yay.
Hi, Kim. Do we have a grammarian? Crickets.
Alita earlier said we did not have a grammarian.
Kimberly's our joker. I had to put her in as guest, and she's not on the list as a member yet.
Did she do the application?
I did not. I did not do it yet. Okay. Good morning, everyone. Having a little trouble with
the Morning, David.
David, yeah.
Morning.
Great.
Marie, did you watch the video about the new Zoom?
I started to watch it and I sent it to a friend of mine who we're starting a study on the welcoming prayer that's through contemplative outreach. And there's a whole section of 15 videos to share. So we're working on that for another meeting that I'm in. So thank you for that, because she was just ready to give up. And I said, there's help, because it's not so hard for me on the Mac, but for some reason it's harder for her. I don't know if she had the Dell or something.
I just mentioned to her that last week that there is a Zoom video on YouTube by this woman. It's very good about the new update of 2026 of all the new tools, especially if you're hosting. And I just now put up the chat thing, and I says now you can chat now with your AI companion. That's part of the new thing of this new 2026 version of Zoom, but it's really good. It's very helpful.
David, I just sent you the evaluation form that I pulled up from the agenda that Lita sent.
Thank you.
Oh.
Hi,
Good morning, Goulds.
Look at the Goulds. Where in the world are the Goulds?
Where in the world?
Whoops. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. We are in Vietnam.
Wow.
Oh, wow.
Not Trang.
Not Trang, Vietnam.
Very cool.
Welcome. It's so good to see you.
Very cool. And it's hot.
Are either of you willing to fill in as grammarian today?
Grammarian, you got a word of the day?
I have a word of the day.
Yeah.
Okay, Chris will.
Chris? Okay, sweet.
Yeah.
There's a seasoned Toastmaster. I can do that. I have a word.
Yes.
T-2 minutes and no hesitation.
T-2 minutes.
There we go.
Let's go. Where do I want to go?
I really like the way that y'all have backgrounds, and I got lost trying to figure out where they were. Normally I sign in a little bit early. So that's going to be a priority because the clock behind Alita and the Toastmaster, that's all very nice.
Thank you.
Yeah. Well,
David.
David created the Kung Fu master.
Before we get sidetracked, I wanted to say to Wanda, I have been doing the virtual, Lee, I really do need to go to the home, the virtual online TLI, and I'm quite impressed. It's worked very well for people. I'm up here in Orlando area, and I'm not getting down to anything. So I got one to go. But anyway, pass it up the line. Good job.
Oh, okay. I most certainly will.
Okay.
Okay, my cursor has frozen again and I won't be able to mute myself, so I'll be very quiet, but I don't know, this happened last week again.
Okay.
Do you have a different port? You told me yours was a ported mouse, right?
Well, I'll try
It's
it.
connected. It's connected,
Yes,
right?
connected,
You can
yes.
just this if you have another port, where you connect it, you try the other port. Sometimes that works. Yeah.
Okay, I'm afraid to touch anything right now. Since-
Okay.
All right. Good morning, early birds. It's 7 o'clock. Let's get the show on the road. I am your sergeant at arms. The mission of a Toastmasters Club is to provide a mutually supportive and positive learning environment in which every member has the opportunity to develop communication and leadership skills. These skills foster self-confidence and personal growth. These meetings are recorded for our members. Earlybird Toastmasters may also use these recordings for club promotions. It's important for everyone to practice good Zoom meeting etiquette. Please keep your microphone muted unless you are actively involved in the conversation, and remember to unmute yourself to speak. We want to see you. Keep your camera turned on during the meeting unless you do not wish to participate. Be aware that the camera sees everything. Use the chat. You can chat privately or with everyone. Now, help me welcome our presiding officer, Toastmaster Randolph Bastine.
Good morning, Earlybird Toastmasters. Yes, I am Toastmaster Randolph Bastine here in Fort Lauderdale, Florida, and we're going to start our meeting off with an invocation, and that invocation will be presented by myself. And the invocation is going to be in the Christian tradition, and it's an excerpt from a poem written by Russell Kelfer. You are who you are for a reason. You are part of an intricate plan. You are precious and perfect, unique design, called God's special woman or man. You look like you look for a reason. Our God made no mistake. He knit you together within the womb. You're just what he wanted to make. The parents you have, were the ones he chose. And no matter how you may feel, they are custom designed with God's plan in mind, and they bear the master's seal. Join me with the pledge allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. And next, we'll lighten things up a little bit. We're going to have a joke, and we're going to have our joke by our soon-to-be Toastmaster Kim D'Ambrosio.
Thank you, Mr. President. Good morning, everyone. Well, I'm sure you all know the cost of things doing around home. And recently, one of my neighbors, who happens to be an attorney, had to call a plumber. The plumber came in and said, that's going to cost you. It's going to be about $800. It's a 2-hour job, so we should be in and out. The lawyer said, $800? That's $400 an hour. I don't even charge that much. And the plumber said, well, That's why I left my law firm.
Thank you. Yes, that is awesome so that we can lighten up our morning. And next up, we will have our self-introductions. However, before that, we are going to have our word of the day, which is going to be presented by our seasoned Toastmaster who received her role, fulfilled her role for us at the skip of the beat, just like that. Thank you, Chris. And that's Chris Gould. What is the word of the day?
The word of the day is limbo. Limbo. It's an uncertain period awaiting a decision or a resolution. Like kids graduating high school are in limbo until they know if they've been accepted to a college. Limbo, Mr. President.
Thank you. Yes, and over here at Earlybird Toastmasters, we like to try and use the word of the day in our self-introductions. So if you can, hey, go for it. And if not, we're still super excited to get to know where you are and who you are. We're going to start with Toastmaster Christina Kurth.
Thank you, Mr. President. My name is Christina Kurth. I am located in Plantation, Florida, and I feel like limbo is a great word for me. I appreciate it, Chris. I'm in limbo right now because my husband and I closed on a house in Georgia and we're just waiting for this house to sell. So patience is not a virtue for me and I'm still learning. Back to you, Mr. President.
Thank you, and all the best with those endeavors. Next up is going to be Toastmaster Gail West.
Good morning, Mr. Presiding Officer, fellow Toastmasters, and do we have any welcome guests? If we do, welcome to the guest. I'm Gail West. I'm in Orlando, Florida. I am supposed to be the all counter, and I notice I just said So I'm in limbo in times to whether I should try to mute myself because my connection just came back on, or just leave myself unmuted for the entire meeting. Back to you, Mr. Presiding Officer.
Thank you. I vote to just leave yourself unmuted. That way, you know, because we want to hear you speak. And next up is going to be Toastmaster Pam Scrimcher.
Good morning, my fellow Toastmasters, and most welcome to our area director. I am Pam Scrimshire. I'm here in Windermere, Florida. I am working on persuasive influence and presentation mastery. Limbo. You know, when you said limbo, I thought y'all were going to be all talking about dancing on your ship. So I'm wondering, where did that word come from? Because I know limbo comes from Christian tradition, but I don't think I'm flexible enough for that anymore. I don't think I'm flexible enough for much of anything anymore. Mr. Presiding Officer.
Thank you. And next up, we're going to have Toastmaster Marie Rock.
Mr. President, fellow Toastmasters, most welcome dignitary Wanda. My name is Marie Rock. I am working on presentation mastery and a few other paths. And as many of you know, I'm a Roman Catholic, and the theology, etc.
Sorry,
have changed somewhat. And there used to be a place called Limbo where the unbaptized babies went, but they got rid of that rule. So I think I was in Rome and they had this cemetery that was originally a limbo cemetery, but I don't think they knew what to do with it. So things evolve as we do. Fellow Toastmasters, back to you, Mr. Presiding Officer.
Thank you. Wow. We got to get to know you, and we got a little lesson today. I have to look into that. That is interesting. Thank you for that. Next up is going to be Toastmaster Alita Richmond.
Mr. President, fellow Toastmasters, distinguished guest, area director, Wanda. So happy to have you here this morning. Well, I will tell you, I went right to the dance. The limbo. How low can you go? And that's what I was thinking. I thought the same thing, Pam. Those guys are doing some dancing on that ship. And I remember the old day when they would have the stick and they would lower it and you'd keep going. That was good for the thighs and the buttocks. if you if you want to have good muscle control. I'm Alita Richmond coming to you from Newton, North Carolina, where I'll be leaving in a few hours to head back to Pennsylvania for the weekend. And I'm working in dynamic leadership. But also, I want you all to know that I am slowly going through every member's pathways of progress. This is a tedious chore, but I will be in touch with you one at a time on that. Back to you, Mr. President. And I want to congratulate Pam Scrimshire for just completing level 3 in her persuasive influence. We know that works for her.
Thank you, and safe travels as well. Next up is going to be Toastmaster Jose Ferrer.
Good morning, fellow Toastmasters, welcome guests, and most appreciated dignitary for visiting us today. My name is Jose Ferrer. I'm coming to you from Javia, Spain. That's on the east coast of Spain. I'll show you a little bit later in my speech. And Limbo Rock was the name of the song, if I remember correctly.
Right.
A limbo, limbo, limbo rock. A limbo, limbo, limbo rock. Back to you, Mr. Presiding Officer.
Thank you. Next up, we're going to have Toastmaster David Relish.
Morning, Mr. President, distinguished member Wanda Kellyman, fellow Toastmasters, and soon to be welcome guest. I am the VP of Public Relations of this Toastmaster group. Limbo means to me having no control, having no influence. The reality is we do not have so much control. The universe has it. So I am David Rolich, coming from Miami, sunny Isles Beach. Back to you, Mr. President.
Thank you. Next up, we're going to have Toastmaster Jim Gould.
There we go. Mr. President, fellow Toastmaster, welcome to the area. It's so nice to see our area governor here. I'm competent Toastmaster Jim Gould coming to you from beautiful Nha Trang, Vietnam. And speaking of limbo, folks of a certain age, and I am one of those, were in the draft back when the Vietnam War was happening, way back in the late 60s and early 70s. And so there was a lottery to choose who would be drafted in those years. A lot of young men were in limbo, worrying about whether they were going to be called and be drafted to go serve in the military and maybe have to come over here to Vietnam where it wasn't as beautiful as it is today. Mr. President.
Thank you for that. And that was a great history lesson. And next up is going to be followed by Toastmaster Chris Gould.
Mr. President, fellow Toastmasters, and most welcome Area Director. I am Chris Gould, and I'm also online with the phone just because I want to show you out our window. So on my other little screen there. And we are on a cruise ship, and this is where we live, and this is our window view right now. It's getting dark because it's about 6:30 or 6 o'clock at night here. And we did spend the day. We spent the day out in Nha Trang, and I thought of the word limbo because, especially with this fuel crisis we're going through, they're constantly changing our itinerary. So we can't really research what to do in any port because we're never sure exactly what port we're going to next. We are in limbo. But I used to love to do the dance limbo. Thank you for reminding me of that. Okay, Mr. President.
Thank you. And next up is Toastmaster Becky Jo Bean.
Mr. President, fellow Toastmasters and dignitaries and guests. Ah, I am Becky Jo Bean. My voice is in limbo, but it will be with us soon. And it's interesting. I just looked up the definition. It also says a state of imprisonment. What an interesting thing to be in limbo. I never thought of in limbo as being a state of imprisonment. But I think when you're in that area of not knowing, in limbo, it's kind of like a prison. Mr. President.
Thank you. Yes, a nice addition to the word. And next up is going to be our soon-to-be Toastmaster Kim D'Ambrosio.
Good morning, Mr. President, Area Director Wanda. I'm sorry, I don't see your last name. I am coming to you live from Panama City, Florida, where I also am in limbo. My house went under contract for sale, and I am looking for a home down south in Sebastian, Florida. Happy to be here, and the pathway I'm choosing once I get my membership sorted is going to be the humorous path. I hope to develop my funny bone, but we'll be in limbo till then.
Thank you. And I'm sure that's not going to be an issue for you at all. And next up, last but not least, is our special guest, our area director, Toastmaster Wanda Kellerman.
Good morning, dignitaries, distinguished Toastmasters, fellow Toastmaster, and all welcome guests. Myself, for one. My name is Wanda Calaman, and I'm originally from Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. I've been in Florida for the last 23 years, and I'm loving it. I am no longer in limbo to where my hometown is. I've learned so much this morning in reference to limbo. I was always thinking about the limbo. I always wanted to be the first one because I couldn't go real low. But then all the other limbos being in between. Right now, I'm in limbo, a good limbo between being the president of my home club and now being the area director of Area 20, which is surely going to be my pleasure. So I'm in limbo when I'm trying to figure out, rearrange my whole schedule. And it's definitely my pleasure to be here this morning. Now, I don't see the timer because I'm very, oh, there you are. Okay, thank you. Okay, well, it's my pleasure to be here. And Zoom is just unbelievable for me. I'm in 3 clubs and 2 of them are Zoom. And it's just like, I think maybe Pam said or someone mentioned about the TLI being in Zoom. It's just awesome. I really enjoy the Zoom presentation. Back to you, presiding officer Randolph.
Thank you. And yes, I am Toastmaster Randolph Bastine here in Fort Lauderdale, Florida. And far as when it comes to that, I am not in limbo because I love Fort Lauderdale. And limbo, I tell you what, it is a it is a tricky way because sometimes it could be very peaceful, but I think if it grows too much, if you get too much in limbo, that's where it can become an imprisonment because you know having choices and things of that nature and it being known can be peaceful because you don't have to marry any one thought. But sometimes having too many, it can drive you crazy, and you need a little structure, especially when you have a house full of kids and wife and dog. I tell you, you need some structure because limbo will have you pulling your hair out. All righty. With that said, um, we are going to, before we go into our meeting, first I'm going to ask do we have any announcements? And I also want to give our area director a chance to speak on anything that she may want to present to the club. Before that, do any of our officers or anyone have any announcements they like to present before we give the floor to our area director? Okay, first,
I just wanted to say for the longtime members that I went to the TLI virtually yesterday, and Barbara Weinstein was there, if you remember her. And I sent her information about early birds. Maybe she'll join us, visit us at least. Anyway, she's alive and well, and she was attending TLI, so it was really fun to see her. So, voice from the past.
Mm.
and the leader Richmond, you have the floor.
Well, I already announced it during my self-introduction, but I wanted to do it as VPE officially. Pam Scrimshire just completed level 3 of persuasive influence. Congratulations, Pam. She actually did way more than was required for that.
Yes, thank you, Pam. Anyone else? Okay, and with that being said, we are now going to give the floor to our area director. You have the floor, Toastmaster Wanda.
Thank you very much. Well, as I always experience that, you usually get the title before you get the lesson. And it's definitely going to be a lesson. And Pam, Barbara Weinstein is a member of my home club, Artist Speaking Toastmaster, a beautiful woman. And I've been not really mentoring her. I've been taking her through her pathway. And my message today is, and I was great. I really welcomed the invocation because sometimes in Toastmasters, when they say religious and no politics, but it's not really that because we have to know who we are, and each and every last one of us are created for a reason, and we're in this space for a reason, and I really love that, and I my theme for this year is who am I, and why did I join Toastmasters? There's so many different roads that we can go on. There's so much. Toastmasters have so much to offer us for a very small price. So education is really how would I say, my space that I'm in right now. I just completed my project, which was the youth leadership program. I was just blown away about how involved the children was for the 5 sessions. And that's how we have to be. We have to have that energy in remembering why we joined Toastmasters. I'm here for you to be your cheerleader, and I'm here to learn everything that you want to teach me and all your suggestions. And I'm going to be popping in and out because now that I realize that you're on Zoom, I was in my car on my way up to 21st Court. And then I asked Elaine?
Randolph.
Randolph. He said, no, we're on Zoom. I was like, oh my God, thank you. Because I just got finished celebrating my birthday yesterday. So I didn't have a whole lot of energy, but I'm here this morning with you. And I'm definitely going to be here for you. I'm your liaison between the division and the district because they send out so much information. How do we get to understand and follow all of it? But I'm here. Just send me questions, anything you need me to answer or find out. I'm here 24/7. Back to you, providing Officer Randall.
And just before we go, between the last conversation I believe you had with Toastmaster Alita and now, maybe you were able to find out, but if not, the area contest. I know that you have the dates between January 15th and February 28th, and then March 1st and April 11th. But are we gonna how do we go about finding out the date, the actual contests and the dates so that we can make sure that we're prepared for them?
From the question that Elena had, I did send her some information in reference to the dates. Now the area is January the 15th. So now, did you have a contest last year?
I believe so.
You did? Okay.
Yes.
And you had participants that came, because
Yes.
I'm in Division B as well with Sunrise is in Division B, Art of Speaking is in Division A. Now, you can have your contest before January the 15th. Now, all the area and the division is going to be in person. So for anyone that want to participate, it is definitely in person. And I see we have a lot of members that's out of town, that's not in Florida. Okay, so I'll get you more information on the dates. Did I answer your question, Randolph?
Well, so if and Toastmaster Alita has a question, but if I heard it correctly, it sounds as if we it's up to us to just complete uh the
Right.
contest and then submit it,
Mm-hmm.
and it
Right,
has to be
exactly.
before January 15th.
Right, exactly.
Okay, and Toastmaster
Mm-hmm.
Alita has a
Yeah.
question as
Leader.
well.
Yeah. Yes, I do. We have Toastmasters has a bunch of different contests. The
Mm-hmm.
only one that they have every year is the international speech contest, but they have table topics, humorous speech, evaluation,
Tall tales.
tall tales. Yeah, there's
They used
all
to,
different kinds. Do you know which contest District 47 will be having? Because I think that's specific to each district. They can
right,
choose.
you are correct. From my understanding, we just voted on it on Saturday, and it's going to be the international and table topics.
Oh,
The
okay, great.
humorous and the tales came up, but we did vote that we will only have international and table topics.
Okay, great. Thank you.
Okay.
That's
Any other questions?
I believe that's it.
Okay, wonderful. Thank you for the time to
Thank you.
talk.
And with that, we are going to start our Toastmasters meeting. And driving us all today is our Toastmaster is going to be Toastmaster Marie Rock.
Thank you, President Bastine, fellow Toastmasters, most welcome guests and dignitaries. I will just refresh your memory. Toastmasters meetings all over the world follow a similar format. We have table topics to practice our impromptu speaking. We have our prepared speeches and our evaluations. And we do have people who are assisting us with various roles this morning. First, I would like to introduce our counter, Toastmaster Gail West. Please tell us what you'll be doing today.
Thank you, Madam Toastmaster, fellow Toastmasters, and welcome guests. The purpose of the alt counter is to note words and sounds that are used as crunch or pause filler by anyone who speaks. And during the meeting, I will listen for overused words, including and, well, but, so, you know. I will also listen for filler sounds such as ah, and at the end of the meeting, I will report the number of times that each speaker has used these expressions. Back to you, Madam Toastmaster.
Thank you, Toastmaster West. And leading us with regard to grammar today, in addition to the word of the day, what will you be doing, Toastmaster Chris Gold?
Madam Toastmaster, fellow Toastmasters, yes, the word of the day is limbo, and I encourage people to use that throughout the meeting. In addition to that, interesting language, and for any faux pas. For the lively, interesting language, I will mention the Toastmaster who said it in my report, and for the faux pas, I will not. Madam Toastmaster.
Thank you, Toastmaster Gold. And we will acknowledge our timer who will raise her hand. Toastmaster Richmond is in your upper left-hand screen. Starting us off with table topics today is the Toastmaster Becky Jo Bean.
Toastmaster, fellow Toastmasters, dignitaries, and guests, and should I say victims. I am your table topic master today. And before I get into torturing you, let's get our timing requirements. Alita Richmond.
Yes, Madam Topic Master. And everybody, the timing for table topics is 1 to 2 minutes with a 30-second deviation at the end. I'll put on the green at 1 minute, the yellow at 1 minute, 30 seconds, and the red at the 2 minutes. So just remember, I'm not going to get into that flashing thing. That's a little bit difficult for me. But there you go.
All right, great. So you guys are the nicest people I know. You are so nice. I'm probably the most cantankerous one on the whole lot. But today, we're going to put on our mean hats. All right? Put on your mean hat because we are going to take a world tour in honor of the Goulds around the world to insults around the world. So when you get your insult, you have to remember the country. And then if you need some help, I'll give you some further embellishment. But I just want to give you the insult. And then you go ahead and imagine the person you would like to give this to and go for it. So the first one coming from Spain is, "You're so ugly, you make an onion cry." You're so ugly, you make an onion cry. Toastmaster Gail West.
Table topic master. I'm not confused. Is that being said to me or am I saying that to the person?
You're saying that to the person. I would never say that to you, Gail. I'm far too
Oh,
nice.
yeah. Well, everybody knows how ugly onions are, but I've never seen anything worse than Spanish onions. They are absolutely the worst. And you're the ugliest Spanish onion I've ever seen in my life. Now, I've been all over in Spain. I've been to Madrid. I've been to Seville. I've been over to the Basque part of the country, and I've seen a lot of green onions in Spain. But my God, where did you get that face? You make me cry without even trying to touch you. Ah, I can't stand it. I smell you as well. You stink. You stink, just like an onion. You're the worst onion, stinking onion everywhere. I've been to Germany, and they love onions in Germany, believe me. I have been to France. They also love French onions and French fries and all that kind of stuff. But in Spain, how did you get elected to have that? I tell you, I've never met anybody like this. Is our timer really taking time to time us? Because it seems to me that I have really gone on and on and on about how ugly you are. But you know what? I love green onions and I love you. Back to you, table topic master.
Man, just let it all out. This is your opportunity, folks, to let it all out. This is from China. You have a snake's head and rat's eyes. Snake's head and rat's eyes. Toastmaster Randolph Bastine.
Madam Table Topic Master. And you have a snake's head and rat's eyes coming from China. Here, that is most definitely an insult. However, in China, they have some interesting astrology that may not be exactly an insult. I think in some of their astrology, like the year of the rat is like a witty and the snake is intelligent. Like so, but you know what? We won't tell the people here where we're from. We won't tell them that. We'll just, make them insult them without them really knowing about those other things. We'll say you have a snake head and rat's eyes. And when I say by that is your tiny head, not the normal big head that we all like myself. I have a big head and that probably make myself look as if I have rat eyes because my eyes are probably a little smaller than, they're not that small. It's just my head. It's called an optical illusion. That's what that is. So, I can try and make my eyes. Thank God my wife has nice, luscious eyes, because between, she saved the kids, so the kids' eyes are not as small as mine. So, that is very much appreciated. And once again, to the heads, like, so, my kids also, I get, well, nope, they all got big heads. God bless my wife. God bless her. Because we're like the big head family. So we're not getting past that. That's for sure. So no one in my house has a snake's head. But by the grace of God, I'm the only one with the rat's eyes. Thank you. Back to you, madam. Take the topic.
Mhm. All right, from Serbia. May your wife give birth to a centipede, so you have to work all your life for shoes. Hey, Toastmaster David Rulesh, may your wife give birth to a centipede, so you have to work all your life for shoes.
Wow. Yes, may your wife give birth to a centipede, so you find troubles to buy shoes for your kid. My kid has long feet, and it's really difficult. And you're the shoe man, you're the shoe store person. You must sell the right shoes for the kids. My kid cannot find the right shoes. Yes, he has 7 fingers on his feet, but you need to provide those kind of shoes. So may your wife give birth to a centipede, so you understand the trouble that I'm going through. Again, as a shoe store, you must provide that kind of service. Now, that being said, I forgive you. I forgive you. This is deep in my principles and DNA. I forgive you. Back to you, Madam Table Topic Master.
Oh my goodness, there you go, being nice again. All right, next insult from Bulgaria. You're as ugly as a salad. You're as ugly as a salad. Visiting dignitary Wanda.
Thank you very much for that question. Now, I was cheating a little bit, and because I never knew there were countries that had insults. So I'm looking all through here, and I was like, what is all that about? It's a lot of stuff there. But insults I'm not good with, because I tried with my grandchildren, I try to stay on the positive side of it. But just to play with along. Now, can you do me a favor also, Pam? Tell me the insult again.
You're as ugly as a salad.
Okay. Oh, salad insult. Well, sometimes I love salads, but sometimes people put so much stuff in their salad, it is definitely an insult because they look so ugly. It's like you don't need to eat all that stuff at one time because it just looks horrible. Just separate it, make 2 salads or make many salads, but it's an insult, I believe, for people to just pile up all that food on their plate and not even eat it all. Because then what you do, you go through it and you separate the things you really don't want to eat, especially those tomatoes. You put them all there to make the salad look nice. And before you know it, you don't even eat them. So that's really an insult to the tomato. So if you're going to put those tomatoes on that salad, just make sure you eat it because they are, it's a little hard to chew up, especially the little cherry ones. I put a lot on my salad, but before I'm finished, by the time I'm finished, they're still on my plate. So eat the tomatoes and stop insulting them today. Eat every last one of them. Back to you.
Okay,
Topic,
now we are going to take a trip to Russia. You can sharpen an axe on the top of his head. You can sharpen an axe on the top of his head. Toastmaster Christina Kurth.
Thank you, Madam Topic Master, fellow Toastmasters, and welcome dignitaries. First of all, thank you, Becky Jo. I love it when you're Topic Master because these are so fun. And I agree with Wanda that it's not always easy to think not positive, but wow, if somebody ever said that to me, I think I would laugh. I'm imagining each of these in their native language as well and how they would sound. I'm sure that that would have an interesting twang to it. The first thing I think of is my dad, who is super bald, and poor guy. When we were growing up, we always just used to make fun of his donut hair that he had. And so sharpening his axe, maybe that's a reference to hair. Not quite sure because there's no hair left. So sharpening your axe on somebody's head. Or maybe it's something to the extent of you don't really want an axe that close to your head. I certainly wouldn't. It sounds a little scary. So I hope that person has good aim. But yeah, I'd like to learn more about it and why that's an insult. I don't think I'd like somebody to tell it to me, but I might have to joke about it with my dad now. Thank you, Madam Topic Master. Back to you.
Thank you. Now we're going to France. We're going to France. You speak French like a Spanish cow. You speak French like a Spanish cow. Toastmaster Marie Rock.
Toastmaster Becky Jo Bean, fellow Toastmasters, and most welcome guests. I think the French language is so exquisite and sounds so beautiful. They could be saying the most insulting things and it would still sound nice to me. So, speaking French, I think about, I don't know why, I think a lot about First Lady Jacqueline Kennedy because I was a little girl when she was First Lady. And I had a Barbie doll and my grandmother made like pillbox hats and clothes like Jackie Kennedy wore to put on my Barbie. But I remember when she and the president were in France and she addressed the French people in their native language. And it resonated so deeply with the population there that she respected them and their language and spoke it. And I think that's important for all of us to really be good listeners and think about where our audience is coming from and how we can resonate and connect with them and understand them and respect them. And that's a big part of my Toastmasters journey. Madam Table Topic Master.
Okay, the last clean one that I have is from Sweden. Go and hide under something old. Go and hide under something old. Toastmaster Pam Scrimshire.
I can hear that. I have a Swedish brother-in-law. I can hear him saying, go hide under something old. And then we all would say, well, that's you. You're the oldest thing we know around. And so then we'd probably go downhill from there. Go and hide under something old. That almost sounds like a quilt or something. It sounds actually pretty nice. And so actually that's what my cat does. She goes and hides when everything comes. She goes under the quilt. But oh gosh, I can hear Klaus now and his could he say it because he speaks English with such a Swedish accent. So his daughter said she was going to name all of her kids with a th sound because he can't say it. He has thousand and not thousand, which is also probably an insult too, that you can't even say the language. But since I don't speak any other languages particularly well, I don't think I have any room to say that. I actually would like to say that I am very disappointed in you Toastmasters. I thought you could do this. I thought you could step up and be rude. And you know, you have failed. You have failed miserably in Serbia and China and all those other places. You know, I just am extremely disappointed in you. And I think you all should well, after my speech, I think you all should just go hide under something old and repent and think about the qualities that you've shown this morning. Madam Topic Master.
Well, except for Gail West. Gail West was downright excellent on giving an insult. Kudos to you, Gail West. You took the challenge. The rest of you are just far too nice, far too nice. With that, let's get the timing report.
Yes. All right. Topic master. Everybody qualified. Gail West, 1 minute, 5 seconds. And that's because I didn't time the very beginning when y'all were having some little conversation there. Randolph, 2 minutes, 4 seconds. David, 1 minute, 5 seconds. Wanda, 1 minute, 46 seconds. She got the long, oh no, Randolph was longer. Christina, 1 minute, 15 seconds. Marie, 1:25. And Pam Scrimshire, 1 minute, 28 seconds. Back to you, Madam Topic Master.
Vote early, vote often, vote for your rudest Toastmaster. And with that, I will turn control back to our Toastmaster of the day, Marie Rock.
Thank you, Toastmaster Bean, for your ever inventive and fun table topics, and thanks to everyone who participated. And with that, we are going to take just a 2-minute break because we have some long speeches today. And Toastmaster Ferrer will be speaking first or second, Jose?
First.
Okay. Toastmaster Ferrer is speaker number 1. Toastmaster Scrimshire is speaker number 2. And the evaluators are still in the same order. So we will have, let's see.
Maria, I have David with Pamela and Randolph with Jose. Is that all right?
Okay, thank you. Thank you. So we'll see you in a few minutes.
Would be 2 minutes, Madam.
Thank you, Toastmaster Richmond. Welcome back. We will bring this meeting back to order. I think that's one of the things I miss most about the in-person meetings is the gavel. It was such a power tool. So imaginary gavel, we're back in order. And before we start with our formal speeches, we would like to have our timing requirements for the speeches. Toastmaster Richmond, can you give us those?
Yes, I will. Madam Toastmaster, fellow Toastmasters and guests, we have an exciting day this morning. Both of our speakers have a speaking project of 5 to 7. However, Pam Scrimshire is doing a special higher level project with a total time of 15 to 20 minutes. So I'm going to time both the green light at 5, the yellow light at 6 and the red light at 7, and I will let Pam's continue to run till the end.
I'm sorry,
Back to
really
you.
quick. I'm sorry, really quick before we jump into that.
Yes.
I am over the break. We said that I'm going to be evaluating Toastmaster Jose, correct?
Correct.
Okay, because Toastmaster Pam, I'll forward this message to David. Okay. All right, thank you.
Okay, great. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Toastmaster Richmond. Our first speaker today, coming to us from Javia, Spain, is doing an informational project. Toastmaster Ferrer will present an overview of the fires that have ravaged Spain in 2026. If there is smoke, there is fire. Toastmaster Ferrer.
Good morning, my fellow Toastmasters. Today I want to give you a situation report of what has happened here in Spain in 2026. And the scale, the causes, the behavior, the response and prevention, things that we can do in order to hopefully prevent this. How the season has unfolded so far? Well, on the 2nd of June, we started with record wildfires. 777 firefighters had to come from 14 different countries to assist us in trying to fight the fires that were starting to rage. It was an early season. Normally, it happens more in the months of July and August and even September, but this year it started early. 9th to 10th of July, a very fast-moving fire near the Gallardos, Almeria. That's just south of me, maybe about 150 miles, 175 miles south, ravaged. And there were people that were living in that area, and there were 14 to 17 deaths from those fires. They got caught in the middle. They did not have an escape route. They took the wrong roads. They got in their cars, and they unfortunately died in their vehicle. It was terrible. From the 16th to the 23rd of July, the Mierla fire in Guadalajara, that's very close to Spain, to Madrid, sorry, burned 33,000 hectares, forcing the evacuation of 25 municipalities. I'll get into that a little bit later. On the 24th of July, you can see how fast these things are happening. Spain declares its first ever national wildfire emergency as fires in Madrid, Avila, and Toledo merge, and they overwhelm the firefighters. They cannot fight these fires. And from the 30th to the 7th of August, the national emergency is finally lifted. Some of the fires are still smoldering and under watch. It's been an incredible, incredible situation. So by early August, we had burned 194,000 hectares. 60,000 hectares just over the Madrid area. I'm going to give you an idea of what that means. 60,000 hectares is 10 times the size of Manhattan. That's just the fire on the sides of Madrid. It never got to the city, obviously, thank God, but over 90,000 people have been evacuated from their homes and living areas due to the proximity of fire, due to the smoke and soot, and very, very difficult breathing situations. So it's been pretty wild. 84,000 football pitches. Now that we've had the World Cup in the US, everybody knows what a football pitch is. So 84,000 stadiums, 30 pitches have been burned. These are where the main fires have been. That gives you an idea of the map of Spain. These are the ones close to Madrid, one relatively close to me. I live here where my little cursor is, some in the north of Spain, and this is the one that I was mentioning just south of me that 15 to 17 people died. So what starts the fires? That's a good question. Some of them are due to negligence. Believe it or not, people still go and start barbecues and smoke cigarettes and throw their cigarettes away out of cars when they're driving in the very dry areas. I mean, it's amazing to me the negligence that human beings can have towards our planet and our areas. So that's the largest single igniting force, negligence. Arson. People burn whole areas in order, mainly because of land use disputes, areas that are forests and people want to build houses on them. Well, once you've burned that area down, it usually gets reclassified because it takes too long for those trees to grow back. So there's arson involved. The infrastructure, our power lines and equipment failures. We have been a bit remiss about maintaining our infrastructures, and the governments have spent money in different manners and different forms and not taking care of things that could really impact people's lives. And natural ignition. Well, that happens during the summer storms, lightning, etc. Those are preventable as well to a certain extent, but they're less human-made, if you would. Why do they grow so large? Well, extreme heat. We've had a very hot summer. You've heard me over all our meetings talking about how hot it is in the area, how it's unseasonably hot early on. There's rural abandonment. Back in the day, 30, 40, 50 years ago, people were encouraged to clean the forests around their towns and to, gather the burnt, broken branches and so on. And then politics got in the way, and they had laws against it, mainly driven by ecological programs that wanted to preserve the natural habitats of birds and things like that, which is all very, very good. But when you start unbalancing things and impacting this, it becomes an issue. The 30-30-30 rule, 30 above 30 degrees centigrade, 30 below 30% humidity, and wind. Those are the three components that are just very, very difficult. Sixth generation fires. What is that? These are fires that rage so hot, so fast that they cannot be put out. They create their own environment and their own atmospheres. They are very scary. Once you get to a sixth generation fire, there's not enough firefighters, airplanes, and means to put them out. They create their own swirls. They do tornadoes. It's amazing what these things are doing. It's erratic, it's very intense, and they are beyond, for example, the Madrid and Avila ones, they were beyond being able to be put out by the firefighters. They had to let them die. It was pretty amazing. So the cost is human, it's environmental, it's economic, it's major. And we as humans have to really become cognizant of these things. Prevention is really the thing. Bring back grazing. Grazing is very important. Make forests pay, map and predict risk, coordinate the regions, and most importantly, in winter, before the fire season, make sure you fight the fires appropriately. Thank you for your attention, and we can discuss questions in a future meeting. Back to you.
Thank you, Toastmaster Ferrer, for the excellent slides and information, very inspiring. Our next speaker today is Toastmaster Pam Scrimshire. On August 27th, Toastmaster Pam Scrimshire will be the main presenter at an open house for new and longtime members of her garden club. This event is the kickoff for the club's membership year. This is the first time the garden club has had an event like this. So what can possibly go wrong? This morning, Toastmaster Scrimshire will explain the membership committee's plan. Then she will ask you to consider what might disrupt these plans. This will give Toastmaster Scrimshire a chance to practice responding to situations and thinking of solutions if anything doesn't go according to what the committee decided. She will share a list of planned disruptions generated by Toastmasters International. However, she asks you to be creative. What could possibly go wrong? Please welcome Toastmaster Scrimshire.
Thank you very much, Madam Toastmaster. I should have known better. I raised 4 children. So when somebody asks me a question, I know not to answer it till I understand why they're asking. I guess I got forgetful because when a very nice lady from my garden club asked me, Pam, you're good with computers, aren't you? My answer should have been, why? However, without thinking, I said yes, and with that, I became chair of the membership committee of a garden club. At first, it was all about my computer skills because we switched from paper applications to online databases. From paying dues to signing up for field trips, we are now computer driven. Almost all. I still do get a few checks from some of our oldest members, but we've made the transition. However, it turns out another aspect of my job is having an orientation for our new members. Last year, I did this by presenting a PowerPoint, which I showed you all, at an already scheduled meeting where new members were learning about our big fundraiser, Spring Fever in the Garden. This year, I pulled myself together and created a committee. We have met several times, and at our last meeting, we decided to have a welcome back open house. It is Thursday, October 27th. I'm sorry, August 27th. Oh, if it were October, I wouldn't be in such a dither. 6:30 in the evening in a room at Heller Hall, the local historical society, and we have already reserved the room. We chose that date because it's at the end of summer, yet not butting up against Labor Day weekend. It's also 2 weeks before our first monthly Garden Club luncheon and general meeting for our new year. Hence the name, Welcome Back Open House. We also decided to invite the entire club, not just new members. This will give our longtime members a chance to meet our new ones, who will be identified by this yellow tag on their name badges. The committee decided we would have a short PowerPoint presentation by us, membership committee, then let the members mingle and talk. We would invite other committees to each have a table where they could display pictures of their projects and get people to sign up for the coming year. Since everything at Garden Club involves food and drink, 2 of my committee will bring finger food. I'm in charge of drinks. We decided that, of course, we will serve wine. It is a Garden Club event. Other details include getting raffle prizes, party supplies. We have tablecloths in our storage locker, so someone needs to retrieve them and make sure they're clean. We also need to update our PowerPoint from last year, which means reaching out to other committees for newer photographs. Because some members still have not ordered their name badges, we need a QR code sign so they can do so. And if any members have actually ordered them in the last month, a committee member needs to pick up the final badge and bring them to the open house. So many, many details, just like a regular party. We also need to invite the members to come. So Ashley designed a beautiful brochure, which she included in our summer newsletter. Fortunately, Linda caught the date was wrong, but only the year. So still the right day, and I think we got that corrected. Our club president sent an email to all of our members reminding them to be sure to RSVP by August 21st. I invited the committees to participate, having to be very clear in my email that they were not going to get time to speak to the entire group. A change that some of the longtime committee chairs did not like. However, the membership committee was adamant that this event is a party, not a lecture. Now we are in limbo. That angsty time when you wonder if anyone's going to show up to your party. The time when you wonder what you've forgotten. More ice, enough glasses, an extra table for that committee that did not let us know that they were coming. Should we send out another email to make sure that we get enough RSVP? What could possibly go wrong? Well, this is your time to think of worst case scenarios and help me practice responding to them. I'm going to attempt to screen share, excuse me, the list of possible disruptions from Toastmasters International. You're going to have a chance to look over them and think about it. Now, let me see how this is going. Let's see. Always a challenge, isn't it? Screen share and sharing the right one. Okay. I'm going to try this to see if you can read it. I'm not sure it's big enough. Is it big enough to read? Yes. Yes or no?
No.
No. Okay, then I'm going to stop sharing. I'm going to do it the other way and just let you read for a while. Let's try it. This one. Does that work? Is it any better? I think not. Well, I'll give you an idea of some of them, but you all can come up with your own. So, disruption to an event. A guest speaker doesn't show. Hey, I might not show. You never know. Power outage during the event. Traffic so people are late because actually we want to start on time so then we can sit around and have cocktails. Or budget. Well, we don't have to worry about a budget. Now, some of the things they said was life, like married or divorce. I don't have time to get married or divorced between now and then, so forget that. But some people could get sick. We might have a flood. It is August 27th, could be a hurricane. So think about possible disruptions and let me know what you think might happen. And then I'm going to attempt, with any luck, to think of a solution that might work that doesn't include my just sitting there crying with my hand under something old. Any suggestions? Any ideas that might
Will you
go
be
wrong
calling
with
on
our
us?
plan?
We raised our hand.
Oh, there you are. Oh, look, so clever. Okay. Toastmaster Ferrer, what might go wrong?
Well, one of the things that can go wrong always with technology is your computer doesn't fire up for that PowerPoint presentation. What would you do about that?
That's probably likely so. Where we are working at the Historical Society, a lot of their stuff is historical, and I've never been impressed with their electronics. So that's really actually a problem. Well, I will have the script, so I can talk about the different things because the plan of the script is to give people an overview, a quick overview of what's going to be happening the next year and what they could be signing up for. But some person standing up in front just rattling on is usually not that interesting. So probably what I should do, and I'm going to make myself a note of this, is go ahead and have some pretty big pictures, little signs. Our club is, I have to tell you, is very wealthy. They can afford to cough up the dough for a few big photographs over at the thing. So good idea. I'm going to write myself a note because one of the other things that could go wrong is I can't remember anything anymore. So thank you very much, Toastmaster Ferrer. Any other possibilities of things that might go wrong?
The microphone doesn't work.
A constant problem. A constant problem. Since I don't know anything about the equipment, I just know it's there. Again, another taking my note. I need to find out who's going to set that up because it's not our equipment. It is Heller Hall's equipment. So who's on staff? Because I've seen that where nobody knows how to run the equipment. I can do the PowerPoint. I know how to do that, but I don't know how to do the microphone. And I don't think anybody on my committee knows how to do their microphone. So I will add that to the list. Who is at Heller Hall that's in charge of making sure and will be there? Because that's the other thing I've seen at some of our meetings. The person in charge of being there to do that didn't show that time. So then, yeah, you know how they always say, well, I have a teacher's voice, I'll just talk loud. And then what the heck are they saying? Because they forget that they have a teacher's voice. The other thing is, and I have to remember this, and I say it to other people, microphones are not talking sticks. Now, if you're of a certain age, there was a thing where a talking stick where you only got to speak if you held the talking stick. So if you hold the microphone like this, it's a talking stick. You have to hold the microphone like this. Very few of us want to have the talking stick. So add that, maybe even practice. Maybe. Could be. Anything else?
You?
Oh, Chris.
I have, yeah. Well, it just jumped right out at me. You said that there were some people who were going to be upset by being told that they don't get to talk to the whole group, and add that to the fact that you're going to be serving wine. What are you going to do if one person tries to take over and talk and talk and talk? Whose job will it be to shut them up?
Well, as committee chair, that falls on me, and I know who it is. And that's the reason we're not doing it, is because I know who that person would be. When we ask for short introductions, she just doesn't ever get it. And I noticed that our meetings were not very good about saying, well, thank you very much, moving on. So that was actually one of the things that's why we don't record our committee meeting on tape, because we know who we're talking about. I think probably the thing to do is assign another committee member who is one of her good friends to keep her occupied. But I think it's something we do. Again, Semester Rock mentioned not having a gavel. We also don't have the opportunity so much on Zoom for whoever's presiding officer, whoever's Toastmaster, to say, thank you, we appreciate your sharing, moving on. And it's a skill we need to do, because sometimes, and perhaps I run over sometimes, so it could be me, that goes on too long. And I'm not clear where I am in my timing. I think I'm about 15 minutes, so probably that's no. Do I have yes?
Well, you're at 12:32 right now.
Okay, so I can actually take a couple more disruptions. Any other ideas of things that might happen that I should be worried about?
Is there someone who is welcoming the new members specifically and getting them engaged? And I'm thinking of Anna's connection with our members when she, it was a reach out, another reach out, until people really felt like they were part of the group. So I think that's always a challenge, making people, not that they're just showing up, but that they're welcome.
That's actually, we did not assign somebody that job. And I think we do. I think maybe even two people, because one of the things we really want to have happen is this is say, oh, this is our new member so-and-so. She's interested in pollinators. This is where you should go. And if we don't have somebody assigned that, somebody like me will be running around with details. But that's the whole reason we're doing this. And yet we did not think of the main job of this event is to get new members attached to the group so they're knowledgeable. One of the good parts of this club, of the garden club, is we have so many things going on, and you can get lost in the details. So thank you for reminding me of that. Again, another note I'm going to make to myself, because I won't remember, to have someone meet the new members, because we have a list. We know. We also, that's one of the beauties of our computer system now. When you join, you check off what you're interested in, and we know who those people are to make the mesh. Because isn't that why we do even here? It's the community. Yes, we're all better speakers, and yes, we're becoming better leaders, but it's also the community. And that's why we're here, not just reading a book or something like that. So thank you. What great help you've been. When I saw this project, I thought, I need to do this project for level 4, but this is like really, really, really helpful. Any other suggestions or comments or things? I mean, I'm not going to do anything about a hurricane. We are not rescheduling because In 2 weeks after that, we've moved into the year. There is no time. The projects are started. The plants are being dug. The lectures are being done. So if a hurricane comes, it's off the table. My only other worry personally is like every single party. Is anybody going to show? And you would think people of a certain age would know what RSVP means, but it turns out even old ladies, we're not so good at it. And the old guys, they're not so good at it. So that's an anxiety place, but I don't know what to do about it other than one more time saying, please.
How about reaching out the day before and confirming their attendance?
Ooh, yes, that's probably that little reminder. That's a good idea. Thank you. Okay, well, so this is also going to encourage you all to consider doing one of these level 4 projects. You don't know how it's going to help you, but boy, this has been a great help. Thank you very much, Madam Toastmaster.
Thank you, Toastmaster Scrimshire, and thank you to both of our wonderful speakers. Madam Timer, may we have the timing results?
Yes. Let me get that goofy thing off of there. Yes. Oh my goodness. I'll tell you what, Jose was watching the clock. Buddy, it was 7:29 when I reached up to get ready to change it to red. Perfect. But you finished. That's when you were done. And Pam Scrimshire, you did great. You did great because you ended the whole entire thing at 15 minutes and 48 seconds. Well done. Back to you, Madam Toastmaster.
Thank you, Toastmaster Richmond. And I believe we will have a poll. It's coming. Please vote for the most improved speaker. And with that, I will return the center square to our general evaluator, Toastmaster Christina Curran.
Thank you, Madam Toastmaster. For many, the most valuable aspect of Toastmasters is the evaluations they give and receive. In successful clubs such as ours, members support each other through evaluations that encourage speakers to continue practicing and learning. Members who receive thoughtful evaluations feel heard and become motivated to improve. I'd like to call upon Alita for the timing requirements, please.
Evaluator, fellow Toastmasters, the timing requirements for evaluations is 2 to 3 minutes. The green light will go on at 2 minutes, the yellow at 2 minutes, 30 seconds, and the red light at 3. And there's a 30-second deviation at the beginning and end. Back to you.
Thank you. And evaluating speaker number 1, Jose Ferrer, we have Randolph Pastine.
Thank you, Madam General Evaluator. And thank you, Toastmaster Jose Ferrer. And should we just coin you also the PowerPoint King? Yes, I think so. So as far as, I mean, there's really pretty much only praises. You started with the how. So you took us down a journey, step by step, and the PowerPoint slides were in order. You went through each one, and it was and it's a current topic as well, and it's important. So, that's appreciated. You started with the how, you transitioned to the what, and then the where, the main contributors, which that goes into it, and then the why, the cost. You gave us every step of the way, which it which is interesting. Those are like bullet points, but within the bullet points, the PowerPoint, you also were able to go through the PowerPoint, which is that's talent. That's talent. And I'm inspired. I'm gonna have to go ahead and put together a PowerPoint, because that is good. Now, as far as any critique, there's only one. And which the only was the viewing window where we saw you. And maybe you just didn't notice that, but maybe it was blocking some of the words. And so and it may have just been something that you just didn't catch because you've done many of these before, and you usually have a space in the PowerPoints, which you did have the space. It was on the other side, but it just probably was just something that just didn't get caught on this particular one. But so I don't think that's it's just basically just pointing that out. And far as that, we appreciate it. And I think we all need to just be mindful of what's going on with the fires. And I appreciate and it's interesting. You gave us additional content because you know, which I personally, what is it that we're talking about, that when you're talking about the environment, they're saying that, hey, there's more rain. I heard something along the lines of there's more rain that cause more tree growth, which then the hot season. But you gave us other details as well, which so you really educated us about, and far as the things that's not done anymore that used to be done. So it's it's a compound situation, and this is something real that we really have to think about. And thank you for that. Back to you, Madam General Evaluator.
Thank you, Mr. President. And evaluating speaker number 2, Pamela Scrimshire, with an R, not a T, sorry for the typo in the poll, is David Rolesh.
Hello, Toastmasters. Good morning, fellow Toastmasters. So, Pam Schrimsher. So, you started very well. The joke about you raising 4 children, and you should know better not to answer questions and ask why. So I thought the beginning was amazing. And you were smiling and you expressed confidence. That was great. Now, what you might want to work on, different things. I would think maybe practice the sharing, the technical issue that you had. That would be great. Maybe speaking a little slowly because you open and discuss many things. And the goal of this project, as I read, was to have a more inclusive type of a conversation, like opening up to other people to participate. And it felt hard for people to participate. So as a host leader, make it this session more welcoming to people. So they're encouraged to participate with you and communicate and ask questions. I would say it's hard because, to be honest, we have very similar points. So, and I see myself. Do not hurt anyone. Do not target anyone. For instance, when you say, "Oh, we know who speaks a lot and who create issues," unfortunately, I would say do not target, because although you're right, even you sent an email telling them, notifying that you will have issues, you're right. That was, by the way, the right thing to do. Send an email is always the right thing to do because it helps you in retrospective. But anyways, that's bad. Do not target anyone. So yeah, but to challenge yourself, since we are already up in time, again, be more inclusive. And you are looking up, so I'm not sure if you had your notes ups and down. I don't know why your eyes were going up, or you did not use gestures. But the main takeaway, as a leader, we have to take questions seriously, and it's all about acting and perception. I think it's important to pause and to project some not confidence. You have a lot of confidence, that's for sure, but some pause before answering and not overwhelm the people listening to you or the people that you lead, because you have so much information but they don't want to hear all of that, and they cannot absorb all those information. You have to choose the right information and answers. Minimize it. Okay, back to you, Madam Toastmaster.
Thank you, Toastmaster Ralesh. And now I'm going to call upon Alita Richmond for the timers report, please.
Yes. Madam General Evaluator. Toastmaster Randolph Bastine spoke for 3 minutes, 11 seconds, and Toastmaster David Ralesh spoke for 3 minutes and 18 seconds. Both qualified.
Thank you, Toastmaster Richmond. And now I'm going to ask myself to launch the poll for Best Evaluator. While we do that, I'm then going to call upon Toastmaster Chris Gould for the grammarians report.
Thank you, Madam General Evaluator. Always fun to be here and to be in listening mode. I found a few lively examples of language. Randolph said, "Limbo will have you pulling your hair out." And Jose was limbo, limbo rock. And during his speech, I really liked where he referred to a season without precedent. I mean, think about that. The normal thing would be to say, we've never had so many fires in a year. But no, he said a season without precedent. It gives it much more weight. Our area director, Wanda, I liked when she referred to her year's project as Who Am I? Understanding who am I? Gail West, onions stink, but never so much as a Spanish onion. And Pam Scrimshire, this wasn't part of her scripted, but she ended up saying, I wouldn't be in such a dither. You don't hear that word too often. Dither, I like it. And she used the word of the day in her speech. She would be in limbo, wondering who would show up to the party. She also reprised one of the table topics by saying she would cry with her head under something old. And Randolph, I liked in your evaluation how you told Jose that he started with the how. Nice and succinct. You know, everybody knew exactly what you mean when you say you started with the how. And I did not notice any improper use of language. So that is my report. If I give a grammarian's award, it would be to Pam Scrimshire, Madam General Evaluator.
Thank you, Toastmaster Gould. And I wonder what the award is. Is it a picture of Vietnam? Because I think then she received it. All right. And now I'm going to ask Gail West, Toastmaster West, for the counters report, please.
Thank you, Madam General Evaluator. I really don't like this role because it seems maybe the only, quote, sort of negative part of the meeting to me. I am very attuned to listening and recording. So please take this as just counting. That's all. Becky Jo Bean had one so. Jim Gould had two ands. David Ralesh had one so, one and three ums. Jose had three so's, two ands, and one Alita, one and. Marie Rock, three ands. Pam Scrimshire, two so's, one and, one you know. Christina, you had one Kim D'Ambrosia had one and Randolph, you had 15 ands and 10 you knows and a couple of other things. So the purpose, of course, is for us to become aware, I guess. I probably have said that in my own evaluation right now. So please take it in a spirit of positive evaluation. Thank you. Back to Madam.
Thank you, Toastmaster West. We take that positively and we appreciate it. That was very well done. Now it's my pleasure to evaluate the entire meeting. So we had a great invocation, as our area director mentioned, from Randolph Bastine, and a great joke from Kim D'Ambrosio. For introductions, the word of the day was limbo, and there are many different feelings and understandings with limbo I found this morning. So some just go straight into the dance, which I've never played, but it sounds like fun. And I agree with Wanda that starting at the beginning, because I'm not so flexible, sounds smart. Good for your legs and your buttocks. I like that one, Alita. And then just the idea that limbo can be an imprisonment just because you're waiting, or for Randolph, a little bit is okay, too much is not. For table topics, I'm going to mention, I laugh again, the Spanish onion. I think that even if she doesn't win, Gail, that was incredible. I loved your passion for the Spanish onion and the insult. And I don't think I'll look at an onion the same way again. Although I do really like onions. Randolph, we know now that your wife is amazing just because of the big head situation. So she's strong. Appreciate of her. And now we know that your family's known as the big heads, and you're the only one with small eyes, but it doesn't look like small eyes from here. I think as of rat eyes is like beady little eyes, and nobody has one here. We learned that there can be too many things in your salad. According to some people, I do like a salad loaded with a lot of things. So I guess that's up to the beholder. And Pam is disappointed in all of us at our insults, except for Gail. And like her cat, she wouldn't mind putting herself under an old quilt. And I agree, that sounds very comforting, especially on a rainy day. For our speeches, thank you, Jose, for the wonderful PowerPoint. Dare I say, the PowerPoint king. It actually brought a lot of interest to me just because I used to work at a company that made a water bomber. So curious if you ever saw a big yellow plane that didn't really look like it should, was with red. So that's something that I used to work for that company. So I'm always proud when I see it. And we learned about memberships and the garden club from Pam. So thank you so much for that interactive level 4. It was fun to kind of put ourselves in your situation, and we hope that this does help when you are actually at the meeting, and that none of the things that we mentioned go wrong. People will show, don't worry. From an evaluation standpoint, Randolph, I already mentioned PowerPoint king, but I like that term. And again, just sharing mindfulness of what's going on with the fires. And I agree, there's not much feedback that you can give to Jose when he speaks. David Relash, I have to disagree with you. I loved it when Pam mentioned it targeted that person. And I think we're in the clear because she didn't mention the name, but I think we could all picture our own person in that role. So, but I agree with you. In reality, it's obviously not the best thing. And with that, I'm going to return control of the meeting over to the Toastmaster, Marie Rock.
Thank you, Toastmaster Christina Kurth. You nailed that role. Good job, everyone. What an interesting meeting. And I hope you saw in the chat the nice comment from our area director. Now, without waiting a second more, I'm going to give you today's winners. Our most insulting and best table topic speaker is Toastmaster Gail West. Our best evaluator, Toastmaster David Relash. And finally, our most improved speaker is Toastmaster Jose Ferrer. Congratulations to each of you. And with that, I'm going to return control of the meeting to our presiding officer, Toastmaster Randolph Bastine.
Thank you. And I am going to make this quick because I do have to jump on another meeting. Oh, there she is. I did share a message from our area director and dignitary Wanda. You can check out the message, and if we have any, actually, I'm going to ask if we have any comments from Kim D'Ambrosio and Toastmaster Wanda about the meeting. We can make them brief because we are over on time, and then we're gonna actually. So should we? We don't want to skip that. Go ahead, Kim. Sorry.
All is well. It was great to see everyone. Have a great day.
Thank you. And did you have any comments, Toastmaster Wanda? And okay, so we'll go ahead and sign up. I'll put me down for start me with a joke. And I do have to go. I do apologize.
I have to leave as well. I won't be here next week. We have visitors and I won't
Okay.
be able to attend. See you the following
Great
week.
presentation today, Jose. I didn't get it.
Thank you,
Timing is
thank
so demanding.
Thank you.
And I think we can stop the recording.
Oh, yes. Okay, so